What is up? Special edition of the In the Cut. We got Ryan Venancio here in the on the RotoWire Online Championship streets. We have it's a $350 entry, 12-team league with a massive grand prize, $150,000 grand prize, and Ryan's looking to take it down. So, Ryan, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, dude? Doing well. This is my ninth OC, so I'm excited to kind of explain my process and talk about why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Nice. What pick are you picking from tonight?
I'm picking 6.
Nice, right in the middle of the draft. Can kind of take some fallen values. I really like the middle of the draft and the 15s so far, just because being on the ends can be tough. Sometimes you got to reach for your guys. In the middle, a lot of times you just get fallen value and can scoop it right up. So, so we got Acuna here off the board, number 1. Where did you, if you had the number 1 pick tonight, would you take Acuna?
I don't know. It's such a tough decision. The GM said that he was fine, and he was expecting to go be ready for opening day. But it's like, why did he get another MRI in California? And you start talking, you start conspiracy theorying yourself to death. So I'm happy I didn't get the decision. I probably would have just taken Acuna, but I'm thankful that I didn't have to make that decision.
Yeah, definitely a tough call. I don't think I would have. I don't know, man. I guess it depends on how many leagues I'm doing. If I'm doing one entry or something into a contest, I'm probably not gonna take him there. But if I got 10, 11 entries, or mass entering a contest, I'd probably roll the dice there, because you're not always guaranteed to get the number 1 pick. So okay, so you got Tatis here off the board. Tell me your thoughts on Tatis.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't himself last year, but we saw last year how Acuna bounced back after major surgery. I think Tatis is going to do something similar. Not do what Acuna did, but I think he'll be more closer to the player we saw the year prior. Contend, 40-20 season, something along the lines of that. And I don't have any shares in 9 drafts. So it's an easy pick for me, because I need in an overall contest doing that many teams. I want a Tatis team, in case he does do something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what we saw last year is kind of the floor for this year. Obviously with the health for this year, he's just got outside of Acuna, he's probably got the most upside out of everybody, I think, even including Witt, who obviously we saw having a huge year last year. I just think Tatis has that just the power speed combo that he has is unlike everybody else outside of Acuna. So yeah, I'm on board with Tatis.
Yeah, he could hit 50 home runs. Yeah, he hit 42 while missing 32 games. His age 22 season.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, another year removed from the injury, so I definitely like that right there. Anything surprise picks so far? It doesn't really look like it. It looks like the board is kind of fallen how it normally does so far.
Yeah, it's pretty chalk so far. There's one player that's missing that normally goes. That would be Aaron Judge. His max is 18. That's pretty insane that he went 18 in a draft.
Yeah, for sure. And there we go. We got AG checking in. He's team 6, AG.
What's up, AG? I got to pull up YouTube, so check the chat.
Got here now. We got Corbin Burns, Otani Burns. We got Soto J-Ram. Pretty good price on J-Ram there, I feel like. 16. I guess that's about where he goes. I would suppose in 15s as well. So.
Yeah, his ADP is actually 17. Just surprising.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I could see
would
your pick.
I would take him over Trey Turner, I think.
Yeah, Trey Turner, he's an interesting one. I mean, he obviously made up for a season in the last, what, like 2 months? Um,
Yeah.
he was pretty bad. It'll be interesting to see how Trey Turner does this year. So I've always loved Trey Turner, but man, I don't know. I mean, he just doesn't. You think he could be like a 50 stolen base guy, and he just doesn't ever get there. He's always kind of seems like he's around 30, and then he just doesn't have the massive power like some of these other guys do that are going here. There goes Judge, Strider, and Judge from Team 8. It's pretty solid,
That's
especially
pretty
in the
solid.
12. Especially in the 12, where you're likely to get some stolen base guys coming back in the third, fourth round, unless you decide to scoop up our guy. But I won't mention who that is.
Yeah, I was hoping to get Jordan. I don't have a share of him either, but I am going to just keep taking this guy that I think is just going to be an absolute rock star this year. That's Ellie De La Cruz.
There we go. On brand. I'll tell you what, this is you're not lacking excitement here with Tatis and Ellie.
That's a fun team. That's a fun team.
Here we go. AG's checking in again. Going for the overall tonight. We can show this video to all the kids after you take it down. There we go. Absolutely. Shoot the moon.
What was it, AJ?
You got any shares of Matt Olson yet this year?
I don't. It's I personally don't like drafting guys based on what they did the year prior. I know Olsen is capable of hitting, even if he doesn't do what he did last year. I know he could hit 40 home runs.
Right.
The 100 runs and 100 RBIs, but the batting average has the potential to be poor, and he's not going to steal bases. And I can't take that kind of player over Ellie and over some other players that are here that haven't been taken yet.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I posed this question I think it was in our group chat, but where Matt Olson is going in like points leagues versus the 5x5 game, and it's been pretty similar. And I was like, wow, that's interesting, because I would definitely take him in a points league, but I would not even close to considering him where he's going in 5x5 for the reasons you mentioned, the possible batting average, not being up to par, and the no stolen bases. And obviously those are two of the 5 categories in 5x5, but the home runs, the runs, and RBIs, I expect those to be elite again this year.
Yeah, and also Pete Alonso's just as good. I know it's not a huge discount or anything, but he does go around later, and he shouldn't. I think they should go right next to each other.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. All right, so this is interesting. We got only 3 pitchers off the board here. First 23 picks, first 24 picks.
Yeah, I was hoping to get Michael Harris in the third, and Tran snagged him.
Yeah, Harris is a guy that's steadily going up. And if Acuna's going to be out for, who knows how long, but if he's going to miss a couple weeks or so, Harris is going to hit leadoff. And it's been the only thing holding me back from taking a lot of Harris, or taking any Harris. Actually, I don't have any. It's kind of where he goes at that 2-3 turn in 15-team leagues. I'm usually never drafting there, so it's tough to lock him in. So that's interesting. There, Tyler Glasnow
at 26.
26. I like Glasnow, but that might even be a little too rich for my blood.
That's his min in the last 18 drafts. That's the ADP I'm using.
Yeah,
that would be his min in the last 19 drafts now.
Yeah,
Glad.
that's interesting.
Vlad at 27. Oh, no, it's not too early. I thought he was going for. I don't have. I think I have one share of Vlad.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where he goes, right? The fifth out, fifth first baseman off the board usually. Freeman, Harper, Olsen, Alonso, and then it's usually Vlad, right?
Yeah. Yes. It's gonna be my first share of this player as well, and again, it has nothing to do with not liking him. It's just I just haven't gotten a chance to grab him, and I really like getting him as my third player, Gunnar Henderson.
If Zach Wheeler had slipped one more pick, would you have taken him there?
I was thinking about Wheeler. Yeah, I had 3 players in my queue. It was Wheeler, Gunnar, and one other player. I would have definitely thought about it.
So Gunnar, you're expecting another step forward this year from Gunnar?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't profile as a guy that would steal 10 bases, especially with the rule change. 86 percentile sprint speed, and he gets on base at a decent clip and hits towards the top of the lineup. His strikeout rate was great after the first month of the season. Like he stole 12 bases in 47 games in AA, 10 bases in 65 games in AAA in 2022. So 22 stolen bases in about 110 games. I think the kid's a stud, and it's a lot better, in my opinion, to have the steals of Ellie and Tatis and take him, because even if he does steal 10 bases again, it's really not a big deal.
AG, check it in. I don't think I've seen anyone all draft season take Gunnar and Ellie. Well, if anybody was going to do it, AG, you know there's going to be Ryan. So I would have taken CJ Abrams over Gunnar, but I'm assuming that you have a lot of shares of CJ Abrams because I know you and I are both on CJ for this season.
Yeah, I have 3 shares of CJ, I believe. I think CJ is great. I do think Gunnar's going to have a better batting average and decent amount more runs, RBIs, and homers. If I didn't take Ellie, I probably would have taken Abrams. I think that's a little bit of stolen base overkill to have Ellie, Abrams, and Tatis. The first 3 picks. But yeah, I think I agree. And in terms of who I think it will be the better fantasy player overall, it might be Abrams. But I do think, like you asked me, do I think Gunnar takes a step up this year? I do. Yeah. I think he puts up a really, really good. I think his batting average is going to be better, and I think he steals more bases and hits 30 homers. I think he's going to be very, very good.
All right, AG is clearly in gladiator mode here with pounding the hitting. I feel like that was a little bit of a strategy in gladiators for some people. Getting wild, trying different builds. So what do we got here? There's a lot of teams that don't have pitchers, right? No pitchers yet. Team 1, 3, 4, 5. No, 5 does have one. There's the first pitcher for Team 7. Everybody else has this one.
Yes, the problem here is that I would say, okay, good. I didn't want to have the decision to take Gallen because I have 2 shares already, and I didn't want to take him again. So I'm probably I don't have. This is generally my closer pick. I have a lot of Hader. I have Devin Williams. I have Clase, and I don't have an Edwin. I don't have an Edwin Diaz yet, so I'm going to take Edwin Diaz here. Yeah, I think this is just like I love all of these closers, so I like grabbing one of them it's either in the 4th round or the 5th round. I generally take a closer almost every time.
Yep.
I have some teams with Iglesias as my RP1. So if like one of my drafts, I got CJ Abrams in the 5th round. So I don't think I took a closer in that draft. As I don't know how CJ Abrams is in the 5th round, but
yeah.
So I have some Iglesias as my RP1. I think I have one Helsley as RP1, but majority of my teams have a closer in the 4th or 5th round. And you can't go wrong with.
I was wondering if you were going to start the closer run here. Devin Williams, Hader.
Looks like it.
Adolis Garcia mixed in there. That was Royce Lewis. Team 2 chasing a lot of that upside right now.
Royce Lewis. What's the rest of his team? Royce Lewis, Harris, Glasnow. That Glasnow pick is crazy. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, even as a Glasnow guy, there's no way I could take him over Zach Wheeler.
No, definitely not. Scooble went 37, 38, 39. What's his ADP? Scooble's ADP is 44. So not terribly early. Scooble went 25 in a draft. That is bonkers.
Some people love that. They just buy into, he has a big spring training inning. They see the velo and they get all excited.
That's wild.
Then again, these OCs are also different. Like, you just never know how they're going to go. You see wild things all the time. We've said it for years now that the late night OC, I don't even know what time it starts. Maybe 12:30 Eastern. Those, or maybe it's 11:30 Eastern. Those things just are wild. It's the wild west.
It really is. It really fucking is.
There we go. Team 1 with a couple pictures. Freddie Peralta and Max Fried. I like that. I don't mind that at all with that start that he has. Needed to get some pictures. I love Freddie Peralta. What is Max Fried's ADP? Is that maybe a little early for Fried? Maybe not.
Fried's ADP is 54.
Not that bad. A few picks.
And he took him 49. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right, though. That should be some really good ratios there, I would think, with Freddie and Fried.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the next 4 picks are, because I have 2 players I really want. We'll see if they go. Yeah,
Nolan Jones. There it
team
is.
2
Team
going
2. All in with the upside.
All hype team.
So Team 3 still avoiding the starting pitcher. Let's see what Team 4 does here. First closer, Iglesias. Team 3 and Team 4, no starting pitcher through 5.
That's the min on. Yeah, that's pretty easily the min on Iglesias in the last 18 drafts. It's the min by like 6 picks.
Oh, it makes you feel good about taking Edwin Diaz then, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe you were thinking about taking Iglesias as well, but usually when I get one closer like that, I want to see all the other closers go. I want to start the run, see closers get pushed up. Because then a lot of times you'll have a hitter follow your starting pitcher.
Yeah.
There you go. Nola. You're in on Nola this year?
Yeah. Like I was reading these articles that were saying that he found his form, getting comfortable with the pitch clock towards the end of the season. And it showed in the results. He looked back to normal the last few weeks of the season on top of the playoffs. And he's just a guy that, volume is the last thing that you can bank in fantasy because pitchers can get hurt at any time. But
Yeah.
He's not a guy that throws hard or anything, so I wouldn't expect him to like start falling apart. He's going to give you volume. I don't think he's going to have a 4.4 ERA again, and I feel comfortable with him as my SP1.
Yeah, I definitely don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
I think he's the last guy I would feel comfortable with as my SP1.
I can't see who's actually on the who's available. But I'm trying to think through my drafts. What starting pitchers would still be there? I think you're pretty much right. I think there's, it's off the top of my head, a couple guys that I like, but I definitely want them as my SP2.
Yeah. I wonder where Gosman falls.
Yeah, he's got quite the fall going on here. AG likes your start so far.
Thanks, AG.
What's up, Jason? Thanks for checking in. Seeing AG's chats, all of his messages. Here we go. AG has a question for you. Would you have considered Diaz, Duran, 2 closers, and throw starting pitcher together after?
No, so I don't. In OCs, I don't like taking 2 relievers up top. I usually wait a lot longer to take my second reliever. There's just so much talent here. I'm not a fan of taking 2 relievers up top. Maybe like if, let's say, a guy like Iglesias falls a few rounds further for whatever reason, maybe, but that generally doesn't happen. So no, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, the relievers and closers and all that stuff are so much easier to pick up in a 12-team league as opposed to a 15. I don't mind doing it in a 15, but I'd prefer not to.
Well, it's just the one thing. Like if you think about the easiest things to fab, I mean, obviously nothing is easy, nothing is guaranteed in fab, but the easiest thing to fab is like saves. So I'm going to take, the commodities that you can't really put together in fab.
Yeah.
That's just
one
my
time
process
check
behind
it. Yeah, one time. We were just talking about that. Gossman, when we're recently to get picked, and then there he goes. Team 9, round 5. It could be something, it could be nothing. And if it's nothing, he's gonna this has the opportunity to be a max pick on him. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know where he would have fallen for me to consider him, just because I'm not a fan of Gosman at all. So it's kind of one of those things where I just don't. I'd rather somebody else just take him because I don't want him anyway.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Big John Stud on our last pod. Class A. It seems like a pretty good price for Class A, middle of round 6.
Yeah, considering where the other closers went, that's a good price.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my second starting pitcher. Get my boy G-Rod.
Yeah, there's your guy. Lock it in. I'm kind of liking what Team 8 is doing here. You got Strider up top. You got Judge at a good price. I'm not a huge fan of Lou Bob this year, but I think with Strider and Judge up top, we kind of need to get some speed there. So I thought did a nice job with that. I like Altuve. I'm not a huge Adley fan, but obviously he's going to be pretty good. So it's not a bad pick. And then getting Class A at that deal, teammates got a nice team going here.
Yeah, I dig that. Same here. I don't really love Adley. Only because he's going so early, not because I don't think he's a good player.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So you got 2 starters now. You're back to having a nice balance now. You got your 2 starters, you got your closer, tons of speed. you can kind of, it allows you to kind of go with best player available. I feel like now that you've caught back up with pitchers. It's one thing with kind of the extreme strategies where people go a lot of pitchers early or a lot of hitters early. It just kind of backs you into a corner where you have to take certain positions, and sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't. But you're evenly based right now, I feel like. So
Yeah, that's not something I normally. That's not something I ever do. Is those extreme strategies? I always like to stay balanced throughout the draft. Especially in OCs, I feel like the hitting in the first few rounds is much better than the hitting the few rounds following, where I don't think the pitching is that much worse. So that's why most of my drafts, I start hitters and then clump of pitchers. So it's all about, doing 10 teams. You have to sort of mix and match combinations of pitchers just so you don't have, too many of the same guys up top, but that's generally what my strategy is. I think it'd be my strategy even in a 15. I just think the pitchers, after I think that Kirby, Glasnow, Gausman, Castillo range, I don't think is that much better than the pitchers going after them. Like if you really want Glasnow, why not take Snell? If you really want Kirby, why not take Logan Webb? There's just a lot of guys that I think are just as good that go 3 rounds later.
Yeah, I definitely understand the reading the chat here. I definitely understand the Kirby and Logan Webb, but the Glasnow to Snell is basically the whip, in my opinion, is the big difference maker there. And obviously health, but both of them are kind of, injury risks. So I don't know. I got a lot of both. So I kind of like both. All right. What do we got here? We're through round 6. Yelich. Is that early for Yelich in OCs? Maybe not.
72. Yeah, I had him in my queue. No, 77 is his ADP.
Okay. So, not that bad.
No, it's about where he goes. Nah.
There's Bobby.
Yeah, I was hoping I'd get greedy and get Bobby. Wow. Wyatt Langford, 74.
There we go. There it is, team 2. The hype train. All the upside guys.
The hype train.
We're getting nuts, AG. You said you wanted to get nuts. There we go. Team 2 is getting nuts.
He's getting nuts. Bregman 76. So Bregman's, I've seen 2 boards in the last day that Bregman's gone way up. I've gotten in the few drafts I've gotten in the 90s. Yeah, his ADP is 92. Did something come out? Any piece of news that Bregman? That's strange.
Well, it's interesting too because Team 4 already has a third baseman, so they're locking in the corner there. Obviously, Bregman's, rock solid. It's not a terrible pick or anything like that. All righty, you're on deck here. You got your guys in the queue you want? How many guys you got in there?
Oof, Raggin 77. I got 1 guy in the queue.
Okay.
I don't have enough shares this guy, and I definitely want more. Lock in my catcher. I just think I don't know. I think 15 steals a catcher is a cheat code, and I haven't had the opportunity to get as many as I wanted. I think this is my 3rd Real Muto, but for me, he would be by far my number 1 ranked catcher.
Yeah, 2 rounds after Adley. You see that in the 15s as well. I definitely like it, especially with your team. I mean, you already have a lot of stolen bases, so you're getting even more now. You're not allowing somebody else to get, some stolen bases from a position that normally doesn't get it. So, and I think just Real Muto in general is going to have a much better season. I think he was quite unlucky last year with a lot of his numbers. There goes Snell. I'll tell you what, is Snell, I mean, we're getting to the point here where he's going to start missing starts in the regular season, right? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I was hesitant to take him. I thought about him, but I couldn't do it.
yeah, I mean, he's already missed 2 weeks of spring training, and then you figure he's got to ramp up. I mean, unless he's, I'm sure he's working out on the side and we'll be ready to go. But I feel like it's going to be like a rush to get ready for the season. Schwarber. It's always interesting to see the build for whoever takes Schwarber, and I feel like Team 12's got a great build for Schwarber because you want to have a rock solid batting average base before you're taking him. My one concern with Team 12 though is the stolen bases. It is not looking good, to say the least, over there with the stolen bases. What do we got there? Maybe 30 total at the most.
Would you say Team 12?
Team 12, yeah. Unless Bichette's going to run. I mean, I don't think we can rely on Bichette or Machado anymore, really, for stolen bases.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 40 best case scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, Schwarber is definitely tough to build around. I have 2 of them, but at the same time, I feel like getting 40, 100, 100. And he stole 10 bases the year prior. It's weird that he stole 0 last year. I believe he stole 0 last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he hits 40 homers again, it's pretty sick getting 40 homer bat in the 7th round. Yeah, but like you said, I don't know if that's the team to do it on.
Yeah, it just comes out of the batting average and the stolen bases, what you have leading up to it. And the team has the batting average, but I don't think it has the stolen bases. We'll see. It'd be interesting to see what they do moving forward with the stolen bases. But I definitely like that turn Schwarber. I like Munoz a little bit more now with the brash, kind of the situation with what he's got going on there. Ha-Seong Kim. Do you have any Kim yet this year?
I don't have any Kim. It's kind of just like Bill. I don't strongly dislike him. That sucks. I was going to take Cassis. I don't strongly dislike him. It's just really just a build thing. Pickett's a little trickier.
Yeah, I don't have any Kim. I think he's basically a fade for me. I maybe the stolen base repeat. I just don't see it. I don't know. I feel like it was kind of a career year last year, and it'd be tough for him to repeat. And now he's going at a price where I just like so much other options there. All right, so you're on the clock here. Sox getting sniped. Makes you think a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'm hesitant to draft this guy, but I don't mind him as an SB3, especially because I need strikeouts. In OCs, I like to go pitcher heavy. I really like to stream from my bench. I don't really like to rely on I don't like to rely on streaming or picking up pitchers. So you'll probably see me take a lot more pitchers than the average person will in the first half of the draft. I like to have like 6, 7 really reliable starters that I can rely on a weekly basis. And streaming hitting is just so not easy, but so much easier in a 12 that I can piece together, corner, infield, or a bench bat or something like that. Whereas, pitchers are so much harder to come by. So I go pretty pitcher heavy in every build in OCs.
Yeah, I definitely like Joe Ryan. I like that pick. I have a lot of him. AG, did you finish high in OC overall last year?
Yeah, Prepus and I finished 23rd. And then Rob and I finished really high as well. I did 2 OCs last year. I won them both. Did one with Prepus, Daniel Prepus. I did one with Rob DiPietro. Just for people in chat that I'm sure everyone in chat knows who those people are, but just in case. I think Rob and I finished top 50 as well. We might even finished higher than top 50.
Which is pretty impressive with how many teams are in the OC battling for that overall prize.
Pretty crazy to have 2 teams top 100 and only do 2 teams. So yeah, we're gonna try to win it this year, and I think we can.
So Jackson Churio went off the board here. Is that that's got to be early, right?
Yeah, he generally goes
93.
Yeah, that is almost his min in the last 18 drafts. Is at ADP is 123.
Yeah,
it's a bit early. Yeah, it's just again doing 10 drafts. Like I'm never gonna reach that hard on a player unless I really, really, really want him. Maybe my last OC is next week, and if there's a guy I really want that I haven't gotten yet, maybe. But yeah, I don't see myself reaching that much for a player. That just doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that either.
I'm really torn on this pick. There are 3 players I really want, but this guy, I think I'm going to take a chance and not draft him. So I'm going to go this route instead. I want more shares. Because of how many steals I have, I really want to lock in that batting average, and getting a second catcher that has a really good batting average really helps my team. So I'm going to take Yainer Diaz. Lock in catcher, not have to worry about it again. And I have about like a 260 average between my 2 catchers, and that's awesome. So that's where I'm going with that pick.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. I just seeing Will Smith did already go off the board. Would you have taken Will Smith over Yainer Diaz?
I don't think so. I think Yainer's a star hitter. I think he's more talented than Will Smith.
Yeah, he's definitely a stud. I'm hoping that he can get some DH at bats somehow, some way. Doesn't have to be a ton. Give me, 20 games at DH. Give me 120 behind the dish. Give me 140 games from Yainer Diaz. It'll be a massive boost to average. Looking at a lot of home runs.
I mean, it's insane what he did in the small sample that he played. 23 homers and 355 at-bats. You would think he gets 500 at-bats this year.
Yeah, and he doesn't walk much. So, and I've always said I don't want any hitters walking unless they're base stealers. It just doesn't do anything for me. I hate it.
No.
It drives me nuts. That's why I've always kind of been off Juan Soto all these years. It's just unless you're going to steal 30 bases in a season, I don't want you drawing any walks. So, if Yainer Diaz gets 500 at bats or 500 PAs, that's almost all at bats. So, that's going to be a huge boost to your batting average.
Yeah, absolutely.
Evan Phillips went right after you. Are you on Evan Phillips at all? I found myself starting to draft him a little bit more now that I feel like the closer free agents have kind of, the dust has settled a little bit. I'm kind of settled in. I'm good to go with Evan Phillips now.
If Yainer wasn't on the board, if Yainer and Jordan Walker weren't there at my picks, I wanted Jordan Walker. I would have thought hard about Evan Phillips. I was thinking about it today while I was working. It's just like, if he saved 40 games, would anybody be surprised? I'm kind of pissed I don't have any. So that could be a huge regret, not having an Evan Phillips.
Yeah, I think he's the guy there. And obviously, they have a really good bullpen, so the other guys can step up. But I just think Evan Phillips is so good. I have no concerns really with him. I think he's pretty much a lock for 30 saves. Clay Holmes to Team 11. Clay Holmes is a guy that I've also starting to come around on a little bit. Just tons of ground balls. There's a lot of home runs. That's obviously a huge thing for closers. Yankees should be a little better this year than they were last year. I'm on board with Clay Holmes. Dylan Cease, there goes your guy. Were you considering him at all?
Yeah, he was in. I got 4 in my queue. He was definitely in the queue. I have a shit ton of Cease. Guy that's that durable with that many strikeouts. I don't think there's any way he has over a 4 ERA again this year. And he's like a lock to be traded at the deadline.
Yeah. I wanted him traded so bad before the season, but I don't think we're going to get that, unfortunately.
No. But thankfully, he still gets to face the Royals and Tigers. So that does help a bit.
Yeah. There's another batting average guy out there. I know that I can see that he's available. I wonder if you're considering him at all.
Yep, there's 2 guys I'm looking at here. If one of them gets taken, I'm taking the other. And there's definitely a batting average guy I got my eye on.
Cattell could have been a decent option for you too there in the 9th round.
Yeah, I had Cattell in the queue for sure. I'm going to go Bogarts, though. It's great batting average, fits my team perfectly. And I just think there's such a drop-off at MI after Bogarts. I think everyone going after him is considerably worse. So I pretty sure I have a decent amount of Bogarts, too. Yeah, it's my 3rd share. It's pretty good, 3 for 9.
Absolutely right, AJ.
I think he's a really good. Fits really well with my build.
That wasn't the guy I was thinking you were going to take, but the guy that I'm thinking about might still come back. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, my issue with Torque, Jason, is that I don't know if the batting average is going to be there. It's just his pull. He pulls the ball in the air a bunch, hits the ball in the air a bunch. If he hit 260 this year, would I be surprised? Like if he takes a step forward, has more of like an all-around hitter approach, I wouldn't be surprised. But this early in the draft, I don't really want to take a chance on that. And there's so many first basemen I like just as much as him going later.
That is quite the drop for Christian Walker. Is that close to max pick? 117?
130 is his max.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, his ADP is 100.
All right, so 17 picks after ADP.
I know you would have taken Christian Walker.
I'm not on him as much as I have been in the past. But I was surprised to see him drop that far. I definitely would have considered there if I was you. I don't know first baseman, but there's still a first baseman out there that I'm thinking of that I feel like could go good with your squad. Goes good with any squad, in my opinion.
For sure.
But yeah, no, like you're saying about the catchers, though, it's really nice to have 2 rock solid catchers that can get you good production. I feel like any team that has ever done well for me has always had good production from the catchers. I just feel like it puts so much pressure on the rest of your lineup to outperform, what they're expected to do when you have 2 catchers that start really contributing. and that's brutal.
Yeah, it's huge, especially this year. Like Yiner was a good pickup last year,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, there's no like huge prospects that are coming up right now that are going to contribute like that. I don't think. And catcher drops off so much. There's no like fab. There's no like catcher you'll be able to fab this year. I don't think that'll make that big of an impact.
Yeah, it's usually pretty rare for a catcher to come off the waiver wire and do well. I feel like I like getting the good catchers, but I don't like paying the top price. That's why I don't have any Adley. If Adley fell down to where some of the other guys are going, like if Adley fell down to Real Muto range and William Contreras, I'm in then. But unfortunately, the price is just too rich for my blood.
Now, this is the part of the draft I usually have an issue with because there's so many players. I have 8 players in my queue right now, and you just gotta pick one. So this is where player shares come in. This is where I like to diversify. A little bit, but if this player doesn't go, I don't think I'm going to diversify. I think this guy is yep, and there you go. And he goes at 125.
That's who you're going to take,
I
Teoscar?
was going to take Teoscar Hernandez. Yeah, I think he's in for a real big year. And I don't think he should be going in the 120s.
Got Gecko checking in. What's up, Mark?
What's up?
Yeah, we were wondering where Gossman was going to go. Almost made it to round 6. All right. You have an opportunity to take my guy here. Your guy, too. More batting average. Let's go.
I'm not going to take him. I'm going to go pitcher. I think this kid's gonna be real good, and I like him as an SP4. Tanner Bibby.
I was going to compare him to another pitcher, but I don't want to say his name because he still hasn't gone yet. But I'll ask after he does go. There we go. AG's checking in again.
AG.
So what do you got here? You still on no first base, no second base,
Yep.
only one outfielder. What position do you usually like to weigh down in 12s? Is it outfield like everybody else, basically?
No, I actually don't like waiting on outfield. I like filling my outfield with guys who I know are going to be everyday players. Outfield falls off such a cliff. There's definitely a pocket in the draft where I'm just going to pound outfielders, but I do not like waiting. Wait on. I usually wait on reliever, corner. There's a lot of power corners I think you can get later. Those are probably the positions I wait on the most.
Is that different in a 15? Or I guess you're probably in straight 12 team mode right now.
No, I don't think it would be different in a 15. I think there's so many good corner infielders that go really late. They even go undrafted in 12s. So in a 15, they would go in the last few rounds. That I think should not be going where they're going. Well, there's the guy you were talking about.
Yeah, there he goes, Yandy.
So Yandy's ADP is 141. So I was going to look at him at this pick,
Oh wow.
but yeah, a lot later in OCs than DCs. I guess in DCs his ADP is higher than that. Well, lower than that, I guess.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Man, if we could just get Yandy to, I mean, we say this every year, but if you could just get his launch angle up a little bit.
It's funny how the Rays operate. I think they just want guys just hit the ball as hard as they can and not really care. Not really care what they do with it. So I guess he's just gonna keep that approach, but it's he still produced at a high level last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the rare elite batting average, elite runs, but not elite home runs from a first baseman. It's just not the usual combination that you see there.
I got two players I really want with this next pick. Hoping I get one of them. That's got to be very early for Brian Wu.
Yeah, what is that, 135?
That's his min pick by 35 picks.
Let's get your guys' season. We're in March.
Oh, those teams are out of control, man. They're fucking out of control. Bassett. Little pitcher run here in the last last round and a half, pretty much from Ober to Bassett.
Seems like a pretty good price on Francisco Alvarez. Is that where he go? I guess I'm so used to 15, so maybe it's not. Where does Francisco Alvarez usually go in OCs?
His ADP in the last 18 drafts is 145. So it's actually earlier than
It's way early then, yeah. Well, there you go. That's what happens when you do only 15s.
Yeah, messes you up.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, both guys I want are here, so I'm getting one of them. I get to fill out my 1B with some batting average and get Josh Naylor.
There we go.
Perfect.
Some more stolen bases too.
Yeah. It's nice to have guys like I think Gunner's gonna hit more 270 this year. So it's nice to have guys like Gunner, Naylor, Yiner have high batting averages. Yiner's not going to contribute in steals, but Naylor and Henderson will at least chip in. Same with Bogarts. Even if Bogarts doesn't steal 20 again, I don't really care. If he hits 280 with 10 steals, that's great.
Yeah, you don't need the elite stolen base numbers with this build that you have going, so it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Real quick. What's the difference?
Oh, man.
Oh, okay, hang on just a second. So Ryan, sorry, I was just going to say Gavin Williams. That was the other guy I was going to talk about. Tanner Bybee or Gavin Williams. You like Bybee a little more?
I like them both a lot. My plan was to get both of them. I wanted Williams at 150. Williams has better stuff. Bibby's probably the better pitcher. But Williams could definitely have the better season. I lean Bibby slightly. I really like Bibby's arsenal, his command, and I think he's going to go 170, 180 innings.
Each escalation clause.
Well, they are.
I like that.
Uh-huh.
I like that.
Well, they also went up to 522.
Yeah, plus the escalation clause. So if the other people go up, they go up.
And then they also are waiving the first $10,000 in defects found during the inspection.
Okay.
They upped their interest rate.
Playing with outfield. I'm gonna likely start to pound outfield here.
More than the next best offer, up to a max price of
I usually don't only have one outfielder at this point of the draft. That's
I
why
like that
we're
they
taking
did it
two
like
catchers this early.
I feel like it's 8 o'clock and we're like,
Yeah. I'll be done in a little bit.
We are definitely going to start to pound outfielders. Pitchers are just flying. Jesus.
You got to get back on board with them here. You got 4, so it's not like you're like super far behind.
No, I should be in line with everybody else. I don't think anybody has more than 4 starters. Brian Hayes. Wow, a lot of guys going way earlier than I thought they would.
Here we got EH checking in the homer. EA and Jason, the 2 biggest homers in the NFBC.
That's awesome. Cedric Mullins, he hurt his hamstring today. They said it was just precautionary. He's not getting an MRI. They're saying he's going to be fine. I think Mullins is a great value here, especially if you need an outfielder. Before he got injured last year, he was playing really well. I'll pull up his stats now while I have the time. And I don't think he should be going this late in drafts. So I'm really happy. Not a fan? That's okay.
AG's not a fan.
No, I'm not winning the overall anymore, AG. Fuck. No, but I'll pull it up. When did he get hurt?
AG says he ain't worth a tinker's damn.
So the first 2 months of the season before he got injured, Mullins had 8 home runs and 13 steals with a 260 average. And then he dealt with like 2 separate injuries the rest of the season. I think people believe that Kowser's coming for his job, but to me, Mullins is just too good of a player to not be their everyday center fielder. So I think as long as he's healthy, he's also like a legit contender. Again, he had 13 steals the first 2 months of the season before he got hurt. I mean, that's a 40 stolen base pace, even if you cut that down a little bit. I think he's a guy that can go 15, 30 if he stays healthy. I'll take that all day in the what is this, 13th round. So I really dig that as my second outfielder. I'll tell you one thing. I haven't done this in a while. It is very hard to give analysis while drafting.
Yeah, it is. The one thing I'll say about Mullins is the thing that he does well, obviously, is stolen bases, and you're sitting really good on stolen bases. I don't really think you needed to push the envelope there, but I mean, obviously, you're not competing just against your league; you're competing against the whole overall. So it's not like you're going to win first in stolen bases overall by 50 steals or anything like that. So
yeah, I also think Mullins could hit 260. So I'm pretty happy with getting batting average and steals there. This next pick's going to be a lot harder. There's pitching is just flying. I really wanted Bryce Miller there as my SP5, but he ends up going.
You believe in that splitter that he's working on?
Yeah, I just believe in the stuff. He's got good stuff. He just didn't. I don't know, something with his breaking pitches last year that he just. I don't know if he wasn't comfortable throwing them or. But I don't know. I think he can be much better. And that fastball is just a weapon, so it's obviously building off that. The pitching in this draft is just going nuts. Like this is my 9th OC. I've never had a draft like this. Where guys are just going off the charts. So I'm going to take another guy. I really think it was a fatigue thing last year that he fell off. Mitch Keller. I just really believe in the stuff. Even as bad as the Pirates were last year, I think they're going to be much better. With a full season of O'Neal Cruz, Henry Davis. I really like Mitch Keller, especially as an SP5.
So Team 4 is not concerned about Sonny Gray's issue here, or doesn't know about it. Did Sonny Gray fall in this draft in comparison to ADP?
Yeah, I was actually looking at him. I was getting greedy. I wanted him to fall a little more than he did. Only because I didn't look into the injury. I honestly have no idea what it was. I worked all day today and just didn't. I didn't get a chance to see what it was.
Hamstring.
That shouldn't be really a concern for a pitcher, should it be?
I think he was on the IL twice in 2022 because of it. So I don't know if it's. I have not seen if it's the same hammy or anything like that. But, Riley Green, I thought that'd be somebody that you'd be considering.
Yeah, I definitely was considering Riley Green at this pick. Pepio at 167. What is this draft? Well, I guess this team's going to look different than my other teams. I suppose it's a good thing.
Does Paul Skeens get drafted in these OCs?
He does. I think he's worth. I have one share, only because I think he goes a little higher than I would like him to. Not that I think he's. I think he's a generational talent. But I don't know if I want to draft a stash that high. I think there's a chance he makes the team, but I don't think it's a guarantee. So, also for that reason, I don't know if I can. If I could draft him where he usually goes.
Here we go with the A again, talking Christopher Morel. Jose Barrios, Salvi Perez, it's a second catcher. Jose Alvarado. So Jose Alvarado going to close for Philly, you think?
I would actually like to have more shares than I have. I only have one or two, I think. I don't know if he's going to close, but it's a great RP2. I think. I mean, he had 10 saves before he got hurt last year, before Kimbrel was like the guy. And he's a sick reliever. He had like a 2.3 FIP last year or something crazy. I think he's definitely going to, if he's healthy, I definitely think he gets at least 15 saves, 20 saves. So it's going to be my first share of this player if he falls.
All right. We like first shares. Bo Naylor. A lot of those a lot of the good catchers are gone now, I feel like.
Yeah. And Moreno's the top guy left.
Yeah. Him and who else? Probably Keibert Ruiz, Mitch Garver.
That is creeping up. ADP is 167. 167 ADP the last couple drafts. It was definitely in the mid 180s when I first started drafting. Yeah, it's going to be my first share of Justin Verlander. 5 picks off his max. He threw 60 pitches today. I know he's not the pitcher he was, but as an SP5 in a Fab League, I like that quite a bit. I'm sorry, SP6.
Here you go, Ryan. Question for you. You guys try and track your categories during a fast draft, or do you just eyeball it?
No, I definitely track the categories. I'm conscious of them at least. I don't track them like exactly, but I give every player a ballpark. This guy's going to hit 250 to 270, something like that. This guy's going to steal 10 to 15 bases, something like that. Just so you have an idea of where you're at. You don't want to fall too far behind in something.
Yeah, I agree. Second that. I don't track
my team is probably a little light in power, maybe even more than a little light. So I'm going to have to be conscious of drafting, maybe 2 guys in my starting lineup that are more power than anything else, just to even things out.
Did you consider Marcell Ozuna at all?
I didn't. It's kind of the paying up for career year thing that I mentioned earlier. He was 32 years old and had by far the best year of his career. Actually, I shouldn't say by far. He did it, but he last did it in 2017. He was horrendous the year prior, and he's util only with no speed. And it's not even a guarantee it's for good batting average. In the 3 seasons prior, he had 226, 213, and 241. I guess you shouldn't count the 213. It was only 48 games. So he had 226 in 2022 and 241 in 2019. So there's potential for him to be a 0 in steals and a bad batting average. And he's util only. Just not someone I'm drafting this year.
Yeah, I have a few shares. I think he had 62 barrels last year. I mean, will he repeat that? Probably not. But I mean that I just like having pieces of that lineup, and if I don't have to pay top dollar for it, I'm all about that. But yeah, you're right about the UT only. Like it could be tough with a roster build. You can't take like if you have a middle infielder already, and both your middle infield slots are taken, and a middle infielder falls way past ADP, you can't really take it if you have your UT filled. So it can be difficult from a roster construction standpoint. Here we go. EA says Team 11 is the heavy favorite. As Christopher Morel is off the board.
Yeah, I think Morel's a beast. I do. I have a few shares. Just I couldn't pass up Justin Verlander in the 15th round. Couldn't do it.
All right, so Moreno and Ruiz are gone. Tough sled now if you don't have your catchers. Does everybody have at least one? Team 2 does not have any.
0.
Not enough upside in those catchers. Fit is upside down.
No, it doesn't. Interesting way to go about it. That's for sure. Got 2 guys here I really like. I'll be happy with either one. And I'm guaranteed one of them. Gonna get some power in this build. Get some Nolan Gorman. I think he has a big year. Happy to get him in the 180s.
Yep, there's your power. There's your second baseman.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of 2 birds with 1 stone right there. It's good that you built up your batting average because he might have some batting average concerns.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely some concerns there, but it's crazy. He went 26-7 last year, and he missed the last 5 weeks of the season. And only 23 years old. I don't think he strikes out 32% of the time again next year. And that lineup's very good. Again, even striking out 32% of the time, he still hit 236, which isn't horrible. BABIP wasn't crazy. He was only 296. I think he can hit 245, 250.
Here we go. Gecko. Not a Morel guy, but he take him over Verlander.
It takes him out. Yeah. I don't have any Verlander. It's just I can't really pass him up on the 15th. He's in the 15th round. He's on a really good team. He's going to rack up wins. I know the strikeouts are going down, but also if you look at the board, pitching is just flying in this draft. So many guys going above ADP. And like I said, I like to have about 6 to 8 starting pitchers that I can really rely on. So even if Verlander does get hurt, I don't know if I really care. It's my SP6. I'll drop him and pick up somebody else.
Yeah, I don't have Verlander at all this year. But yeah, I mean, price-wise, is your SB6. I get it, but it's just not something that I would do. But we're not always going to agree on everything. That's the beauty of this.
Yeah, this pitching staff isn't like I don't have any Bibby. I don't have any Joe Ryan. I don't have any Verlander. So it's definitely. I mean, I think all those players are fine where they're being taken. It's just it's a different staff for me for sure.
Yeah.
And the second player I wanted last round is still here, so hopefully I'll get sniped here.
I think we'll take the stream through round 20 and then wrap it up. Let Ryan finish up his picks. In peace.
I'm fine doing the whole. Well, it's up to you. I don't really care as long as you want to do it. But I'm fine. Stream or whatever. So I go James Outman as my third outfielder. I just think he's in for a really big season. I want as much of that Dodgers lineup as I can get. In the second half last year, he went 14-8 with a 266 average. And he was only a rookie. Not the second half, the last 3 months of the season. And I think he's going to play every day in center field. I don't think he platoons at all. Played 151 games last year. There's no reason to think he'll platoon this year. And I think it's power speed with the potential of hitting 260. I don't think he's going to strike out. It's kind of the same thing as Nolan Gorman. I don't think he's going to strike out 32% of the time. This kind of the players that I'm going for in OCs, just in general, honestly, not even OC specific. I want guys that are going to contribute across the board in good lineups. Outman for Outman to go 23-16 with a 250 average his rookie year is pretty damn good. I know he's an older rookie; he was 26, but still, what the Dodgers do with players, there's easily a chance he can grow and lower that strikeout rate. I'm a really big fan of Outman in the 17th round.
Yep, I'm on board with that pick. I like that a lot. Interesting to see Tyler and O'Neill go right after. Do you think Tyler O'Neill's going to have a bounce back here in Boston?
I don't have any Tyler O'Neill. I think my biggest issue is he's never stayed healthy his entire career. No, I get it. I know it's an OC, and I know he's going in the 17th round, but he's never, ever stayed healthy outside of 2021. So I don't know. He's also never been an above-average hitter outside of 2021 and his rookie season. But that was more of he struck out 40% of the time that year. So it's he's a weird player. Definitely has the potential, but I don't have any shares. Hope he does well for Jason. I'll say that.
Yeah, but do you subscribe to Bjorn's Bodies? I mean, he's got to be a first-run talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bjorn's Bodies. All right, there we go. We got Senga off the board. Where would you be willing to take Kodai Senga?
I have no interest. I probably wouldn't take him at all.
No, I don't think I would either. I don't know what to expect from him. I have a ton of shares early on, so I'm already. If he comes back and is healthy, great. But I don't have any confidence in that being the case.
Yeah, then I go with my SP7. And I think Tristan McKenzie's tremendous value here. It appears that he's healthy going into spring training. I had McKenzie as my 12th ranked starting pitcher last year. And now to get him at 211 while he's fully healthy, I just can't not do it. And especially because Verlander, I'm not as confident in his health. I'd like to have a stronger SP7, 8, and 9 just to sort of make up for that. Yeah, this is generally how I build. I want my SP7 to be someone I could really rely on. And I think while McKenzie's healthy, he's going to be very good. And again, that AL Central is terrible. As good as the Twins are, they have the most injury-prone team in Major League Baseball. So as good as Royce Lewis is, as good as Byron Buxton is, as good as Alex Kirilloff is when they're on the field, they could all easily be off the field. So you got them on top of the White Sox, on top of the Royals, on top of the Tigers. I'm a really big fan of McKenzie, Gavin Williams, and Tanner Bibby this year. because that division's terrible, and I think all three of them are really good pitchers.
AG wants to know, does Bradish go at the end of these OCs?
I believe he does. His ADP is 325, but he hasn't been drafted in 5 of the 18.
AG has some concerns about if it's windy. McKenzie might blow over.
That's pretty funny.
Here we go. Timothy Lilly checking in. I think Senga is a much better risk to take than Verlander.
Interesting, even though Verlander just threw 60 pitches and Senga's not close to pitching.
I don't know about that. Senga, we don't know when he's going to be back.
Yeah, I mean, I get that Verlander's 41. I don't want to draft him at 120 where he was going, or 110, whatever his ADP was. It was probably even earlier than that before he got before he had that setback. But he's a horse.
Gecko has no interest in any of them. In either of them, I should say.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on Senga. I have no interest in Senga. Now we're definitely looking outfield here. I only have 3 outfielders. Like I was saying, I would like to get 5 every day. Outfielders to at least start off with. Like, you can obviously fab outfielders as the year goes on, but I would like to start with 5. There's a few guys here I'm looking at.
Think Jared Kelenic is going to have a bounce back here, or I should say a breakout. He's not really bouncing back from anything.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about taking him. I like that pick.
Change of scenery. Hopefully, can do him some good. All right, there we go. Jonah Heim, Tyler Stevenson.
It's kind of another player. I think just contributes across the board, and it gives me some power that I needed. And I think he can have a big season. I really like Jack Sawinski. He's going to play every day, steal some bases, and sort of the same thing as Outman and Gorman. I think his I think another season in the big leagues, and he's not going to strike out as much.
I definitely like Jack Sawinski.
He only had a 10% swinging strike rate last year, and he doesn't chase. I know he takes a lot of pitches, and that's why he strikes out more, but
too passive.
Profile just does not. I don't think he's going to strike out 32% of the time. So again, even though it looks like I have bad averages with Gorman, Outman, and Sawinski, I don't think any of them hit for as low of an average as they did the year prior. And again, it's taking a chance. It's nothing's guaranteed, but those are the sort of shots I like to take, because even if they don't hit for a really high average, my team is pretty balanced average-wise, and they contribute in other places. Sawinski could hit 30 home runs and steal 15 bases, and Gorman can do the same, and Outman can do the same. So it's sort of guys that contribute across the board.
All right, what do we got here now? Eloy off the board. I have a lot of Eloy. I like the price this year. Whether or not he can stay healthy, I don't know. It's just tough to find that average and power combo, I feel like, that late in drafts.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely thought about him.
Yeah, another guy that clogs your UT spot, which is just sucks for flexibility. But Taylor Ward. Everybody loved Taylor Ward last year, and he didn't quite perform as well as everybody thought. And then obviously we had some injuries on top of that. Do you still like Taylor Ward for this year?
Yeah, I was debating between him and Sawinski. Decided to go with the power guy because I felt like I needed a little boost in power. Yeah, I like Taylor Ward. It's another guy, like I was talking about, that contributes across the board. He could hit 20, 25 homers. He can steal a few bases and hit for a good average. Definitely have some shares of Taylor Ward.
Gecko wants to know what you're thinking about for closer 2.
I'll let you know in a second.
I think I know who you're going to take. Let me guess. Are you taking on this pick?
I am taking this pick. I was waiting for Lily to pick because I know he's in chat.
I'm gonna guess it when you're on the clock.
Okay. Yeah, I normally but the Gecko. What he was saying, I normally wait for my second reliever. I just think it's easier to fab closers. And last year, like that never happens, right? Where almost all of the closers like hold the job for the entire season. I know there were some teams that didn't, what happened with Tanner Scott, how he got the job late in the year, and trying to think of any other teams where that happened. But it's just so rare that all of these closers just hold the jobs. Like relievers are so volatile. So I don't think what happened last year is going to happen again. Like we already have Bednar go down. A few of them are going to get hurt. A few of them are going to suck and lose the job. So it's something I like to wait on, especially in a 12.
Where did Bednar go here?
Bednar went in the first pick in the 9th round.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So 90th pick.
Okay.
Right? No. 96th. Yeah, I'm going to take Carlos Estevez.
Yeah, that's who I was going to guess.
At least I know he's the closer. He was great in the first half and was just horrible in the second half. So I think this is the perfect place to take a second closer. It's the 20th round. If he sucks, oh well, I drop him. And he's going to start the year as the closer, especially with Stevenson being injured. But even before Stevenson was hurt, Ron Washington said that Estevez was going to be the closer to start the year. So even though the Angels suck, I still have my second reliever is still a guy that's going to get saves right off the bat.
There he is. Okay. Adbert Elzaleh went towards the end of the 13th. I was curious to see where he was going to go. Hector Neris is the guy that's there now and has some closing experience. Do you think Elzaleh is the for sure closer there with the Cubs?
Yeah, to start off, you would think. I just I'm not sure about him as a closer. It's possible that he just runs the job and he does well all year. I just I'm not confident in him being a rock star closer again. I guess that's why I tend to have no shares. Yes, I was looking at him. So Alzoleh's fastball is not good. It's actually pretty bad. And his really only good pitch is his slider. He throws it 45% of the time. It's a very good pitch. But if I had to bet on closers that are going to lose the job this year, I would definitely put a bet in on Alzoleh. I'd bet on Alzoleh losing the job. I'd bet on Alexis Diaz losing the job. There's a few guys that I don't like and wouldn't draft.
Thanks, Gecko. Appreciate it. We'll take it through this round. I gotta hop off. I got trying to sell my house here, so
Yeah, you're good, man.
got to get caught up on the latest everything that's going on with it. So we got offers flying in, but as always, fantasy baseball takes priority over everything, including family and selling my house. So
I love it.
I don't know. I guess before you make this last pick, like, what are your final thoughts? About this draft tonight. To me, it didn't seem like anything was super crazy. I mean, obviously, you got Team 2, shooting for a lot of upside. There was a couple.
The pitching. The pitching went really. A lot of these pitchers went way earlier than they usually do. And I guess that's what forced me to not have a pitching staff that I usually have. I don't love the pitching. I don't love Ryan, Bibby, Keller, Verlander as SP3 to 6. But I think my offense is very, very, very good. And I'll make it work.
Yep, this is just half the battle. Now you get 26 weeks of fab to go with it, and see if we can make some magic happen. Paul Skeens did just go off the board, 21st round. So I guess that answers my question if he does get drafted in the OCs, because I had no idea. And see, I don't know. To me, 21st round seems crazy, but maybe that's
no. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't have any shares, because he goes way too fucking high.
Yeah.
His ADP is 260.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. Crazy to me, because who knows when he's going to be up. Maybe he breaks camp with the team, but I don't know. I would be surprised if Pittsburgh did that, but I guess you never know. So.
Yeah. I do think he's up early, but I would rather. There's a few guys I'll take later. That's a stash.
Thanks, Jason. I will see you in Vegas. Can't wait. 2 weeks from Thursday, I believe. I'm flying out.
Thanks, Jason.
I think that let's wrap it up there. This is a good draft. I like doing the live streams. I love watching draft boards. I love watching how teams, how they're building with players and, kind of spotting certain things. Like, for example, the Schwarber that I mentioned earlier. I like to see, like, did that team already address batting average? What did they do afterwards? Actually, looking at it, they did address speed with the Story Ruiz at the end of the ninth. Not for me, but I guess that's addressing the speed part of things. So, it's always interesting to see how teams do things. But when do we record next, Ryan? When do you think?
We need our second. We're on second SP pod. I don't know. I'll have to contact our guest, and we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We're kind of just playing things by ear here. Don't know. Dealing with selling my house and shit, so we're not exactly on schedule like we were last year. But as usual, we'll get it tweeted out and let everybody know when we'll be on. But thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will catch you all next time.
See you later.